We're receiving some substantial revelations this afternoon. We're discovering why Donald Trump perhaps doesn't desire the Epstein documents to emerge uncensored at minimum. Because based on one legislator who's examined the documents, Trump's identity surfaces beyond 1 million occurrences. It's not exaggeration. That's a precise quotation from Congressman Jamie Raskin from Maryland, the leader of the House Judiciary Committee, who has possessed connection to the uncensored documents, as all congressional representatives have. He investigated the surname Trump in the documents, revealed exceeding 1 million references in the uncensored materials. Now, these documents are partially censored. I wouldn't characterize them as uncensored because, as Congressman Khanna informs me today, the DOJ obtained documents that were previously cleaned and censored by the FBI. And while numerous individuals desire identities being disclosed on the House chamber, and today Congressman Khanna disclosed 6 of them. A substantial revelation. Make certain to engage, respond, distribute, and follow. The greater your engagement, the more individuals observe this. Back my efforts by following to my Substack. Access the connection below. I just returned from Capitol Hill approximately an hour earlier, where I conversed with congressional representatives about the Epstein documents and additional matters. I'll be returning on the Hill tomorrow, where I'll be conversing with victims and congressional representatives, because tomorrow constitutes the House Judiciary Committee proceeding with Pam Bondi this evening. I'll be conversing with various victims as well, so remain watching for that. But what we discovered, well, it's significant. We discovered that based on Jamie Raskin, who conversed with Axios, when he investigated President Trump's identity in the uncensored Epstein documents, it appeared, quotation, beyond 1 million occurrences. Why does this carry weight? Well, at minimum, one of the documents Jamie Raskin located disputes what Donald Trump has openly asserted about his connection with Jeffrey Epstein. That material is a 2009 electronic correspondence between Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, in which Epstein detailed his counsel's description of a telephone conversation with Trump. Trump is summarized and referenced as stating, quotation, "No, Jeffrey Epstein was not a participant of Mar-a-Lago, but he was a visitor at Mar-a-Lago, and no, we never requested him to depart." Now, Donald Trump has rejected all misconduct, and he has sustained that he expelled Epstein from the establishment. But the reality appears as though he presumably didn't. Now, the previous Palm Beach County Enforcement Administrator testified to the FBI in 2019 that subsequent to Epstein's detention, Trump asserted he removed Epstein from Mar-a-Lago. Trump allegedly also informed the then enforcement administrator that everyone has recognized he's been executing this and that Ghislaine Maxwell is malicious and to concentrate on her, but he only voiced concern following the examination had previously been initiated. And well, Congressman Khanna today proceeded on the House chamber and commenced to disclose identities. Numerous individuals desire to disclose identities. So he initiated to disclose identities. So listen to what Congressman Khanna has stated today on the House chamber presently. Congressman Massey and I proceeded to the Department of Justice to examine the uncensored Epstein documents. We invested approximately 2 hours there, and we discovered that 70 to 80% of the documents remain censored. Actually, there were 6 affluent, influential individuals that the DOJ concealed for no evident justification. When Congressman Massey and I indicated this to the Department of Justice, they recognized their error, and presently they have disclosed the identification of these 6 influential individuals. These individuals are Salvatore Catuora, Zurab Mikaladze, Leaping Leonor, Nicola Caputa, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, CEO of Dubai Ports World, and billionaire entrepreneur Les Wexner. So there you have it. He identified 6 individuals on the House chamber who he states potentially are connected in the Epstein documents in the operation. And when questioned about one of these persons, the Sultan, I desire you to listen to what he possessed to communicate afterwards. And so you just stated that there are 6 identities presently that you've presented publicly. How did this materialize? Thomas Massey and I proceeded to justice. We were examining the documents. We located that there were 6 individuals who were charged, and nevertheless, justice was defending them. And so we communicated to justice, you must disclose these identities. they did. But contemplate this. If we located 6 identities that justice was defending in 2 hours, contemplate how many identities they're defending in 3 million documents. It was circulating digitally that the Sultan who was identified, was he the individual in the torture electronic correspondence? Is that accurate? That is correct. I mean, that is the individual they were defending. Like, why not release his identity? He's allegedly an influential individual in Dubai. He's obviously allegedly involved in these offenses, and he's involved in disturbing electronic correspondence, and nevertheless, they were defending that. Now, the White House communicates today, quotation, "We are progressing from that," referencing the Epstein documents. But I don't believe we genuinely are, because there is additional details emerging. Jeffrey Epstein, convicted sexual predator, compensated Ohio State University's administrator of gynecology periodic payments of thousands of currency. New documents demonstrate Mark Landon, a medical professional and instructor at Ohio State University, and the administrator of the obstetrics and gynecology section, obtained periodic payments of thousands of currency from Epstein in the initial 2000s, based on new documentation like this one. Quotation, "Dr. Landon's $25,000 periodic payment is pending. Please authorize." Based on disclosed documents, Landon obtained as substantial as $25,000 every few periods. Now, Landon informed NBC4 that the payments were for advisory services, and he possessed no awareness of Epstein's offenses. Along with periodic payments, Landon also obtained at minimum 10 deliveries from Epstein or his representatives between June 28, 2001 and April 12, 2005. In total, Epstein invested beyond $200 million or apologies, $200 dispatching materials to Landon's Columbus residences. The documents do not specify what precisely was dispatched. And the more substantial information today as well was that Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick proceeded under declaration in presence of the House or in presence of the United States Senate and acknowledged for the initial occasion under declaration that he was not exclusively on Epstein's Island, that he consumed lunch on Epstein's Island, that he transported his family to Epstein's Island. He fabricated. Now that would customarily in a standard administration be adequate to receive you terminated. But Caroline Leavitt, she communicates otherwise. Listen to what the White House possesses to communicate about Howard Lutnick. And on Ghislaine Maxwell, is the president going to eliminate a pardon for her in her testimony deposition yesterday? Her judicial association seemed to be constructing a matter again for a pardon from the president. Again, this is not something I've conversed with the president recently because honestly it's not a priority. He's concentrated on numerous of the matters that the American citizens are experiencing and furnishing solutions to those matters. So I haven't conversed with him recently. Previous occasion we did converse about it, he stated it's not something he's evaluating or contemplating about. Proceed ahead, Bloomberg. So they're not eliminating a pardon of Ghislaine Maxwell or reduction of clemency. Caroline Leavitt also stated that the president possesses complete faith in Howard Lutnick. That was the segment I was intended to present you, but alternative segment displayed. But that's acceptable. The information progresses rapidly. So in any circumstance, that's basically where we are presently. This evening, I'm going to be questioning Sky and Amanda Roberts, the family representatives of Virginia Roberts Giuffre. And I believe that's a significant interview that you're all going to desire to observe. That's going to emerge this evening in a few hours. But we're presently discovering millions of new documents, Trump's identity, beyond 1 million occurrences in the documents. They're cleaning them. They desire them censored. And perhaps this is why. Engage, respond, distribute, and follow. I'll possess another update for you very rapidly, so remain watching for additional. Hey folks, thanks substantially for observing. Feel unrestricted to append this podcast on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or anywhere you observe for the recent breaking information and daily updates throughout the interval. Make certain to pursue, follow. Observe you rapidly for additional.